Going back to one of our top stories, firefighters in the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality are continuing to battle several fires this evening in the Beachview and Baywest areas. It's being reported that the fire spread quickly as the area is dry and windy. Gift of the Givers is on the ground providing assistance in Nelson Mandela Bay. The organisation's Dr Imtiaz Sooliman joins me now. Thank you so much, Dr Sooliman, as always, for your time. We know that Gift of the Givers is involved in so many operations. Can you tell us what the situation is on the ground at the moment in Nelson Mandela Bay?
Good evening, Annalie. There seems to be a real confusion and panic right now. We've been speaking to all the various stakeholders in the area to ascertain what's happening and what's required. There's several problems. One, the fire is raging out of control. The wind is not assisting. The wind is very strong. Thirdly, they don't have enough water. Fourthly, the point of water is too far away from where the fire is. Fifth, they don't have enough firefighters, and the firefighters who are there are getting burnt out. Sorry to say it in that way, but they're exhausted. Then the problem is the fire is now spreading to Seaview, which is where there's informal settlements, and there's also a lot of homes, in community homes there. So the challenges have to be dealt with in separate ways. Number one, the most decisive intervention right now would be helicopters and a spotter plane. We're busy making arrangements for that. It's going to cost us R1 million to make, and we've already made arrangements, and we're hoping at 4 o'clock this morning, the helicopters and a spotter plane will fly into the area. And the advantage is, on the one side, is because the sea is right close to where the fires are, the helicopters can pick up water from the sea. It's a very short distance to drop it on the fire. That's the first issue, to deal with water from the sky and try to put huge amounts of water to bring the fire to an end. Secondly, because the fire trucks can't carry that much water, and because the water point is very far, they're only using the water when the fire comes close to the homes, which is very, very risky. But it's not their fault. There's not much they can do about that. And even the terrain is difficult. All the trucks can't go to specific areas. So we're sending in 2 water tankers tomorrow to augment the water of the existing fire trucks. Thirdly, because the firefighters are exhausted, and we don't blame them, they've been fighting this for 48 hours, they're tired, they're hungry, we've brought in supplies for the firefighters in terms of energy bars, biscuits, water, and nutritious meals to support them. But that's not enough. We're making arrangements to send in teams from Cape Town. We're working with Cape Town Disaster Management, Colin Diner, and we're making arrangements to fly teams in tomorrow morning to assist the existing teams. We'll pay for that also. And then the informal settlements that are being moved out, our trucks, in fact, our team members arranged to get the hall open. They're working with the fire department and the SCPS. The councillors are nowhere in sight. So the fire department and the SCPS, together with our teams, are opening the halls. We've already got blankets and mattresses on standby, which we brought from East London this afternoon. So we'll be helping them in those manners. But to fight the fire critically is the helicopters and the spotter plane and the firefighters, which will come tomorrow at our cost.
We know there's a dire water shortage in Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. Do you think that's aggravating the situation? I know you're saying that there is, the water points are very far. You can only get so many trucks into a certain area. But is there also, at the heart of it, a worry about sufficient water?
That was a problem when we were there in May. That's the first thing I told them. I said, if you have a fire in summer, you're going to have a major problem that you won't have enough water, a water source to fight that fire. And right now, already, the water constriction is getting greater in many parts of the city. We've already put 45 boreholes in the city, but it's not enough. We have to review to see if we can put more boreholes or what else we can do in the system. And maybe we need more intervention from national government. I'm not sure what they're going to do, because, this is not a new problem. This is something that has been developing for the last 3 years, and nothing decisive has been done. So, but the advantage is that we have boreholes in various parts of the city. The water trucks can fill water from those boreholes. And we have the advantage of Seribos, the salt company has made available water to us through the desalination plant, where you can get 500,000 liters of water per day. And the advantage is it loads 35,000 liters of water in 32 minutes. So, but except it's a bit of a distance from that plant to where the fire is. But if we have the firefighters with the helicopters and then send in extra trucks, I'm sure that we can achieve a lot very quickly, and definitely we can bring the fire under control. And while that's happening, we have to take care of the people who have to move out of their homes, and support them in the halls, which we're already doing tonight.
I know the focus at this stage is very much on trying to bring these blazes under control through these various measures that you've explained to us. Has there been any discussion up to this point about how these fires could have started?
No, we haven't had that feedback as such. We're not sure. It started in the bush outside the homes in Beachview. We're not sure how the fire started. Actually, nobody's even spoken about that, to be honest. Everybody was just panicking from this morning to see how they can stop the spread of fire. So that hasn't been discussed. It may have been discussed among those people. We were not there, I don't know. But we'll probably get an answer maybe later tonight.
You mentioned that the fire is moving in the direction of Seaview, where there are also informal settlements. And the great worry there is, of course, that it's a lot harder for firefighters, for trucks, for resources to get in between the structures to fight fires in informal settlements adequately. Is there being any provision made in the meantime while that fire is still heading in that direction to try and evacuate people from those shelters?
They're evacuating right now as I'm talking to you.
Great.
Because the trucks are coming, and people are the firefighters together with the police services and my teams are already evacuating the people. We've already opened the community hall and we've already sent in blankets and mattresses to the hall. And the people themselves, for the change, have come out themselves. People actually ran out of their homes to say they want to be moved. They're afraid, like one lady said that the two of our children missed themselves in the home already out of anxiety and terrible fear that the fire was coming to burn them all. So there was no resistance. In fact, there was total cooperation. What the informal settlements or the occupants of the informal settlements realized that their lives were in danger. So it was easy in that they all came out to the street and waiting for somebody to give a command to open the hall. And that command wasn't coming. And together with the firefighter and the SAPS and our teams, we managed to get the hall key, open the hall, and the people are willing to move. But we're hoping that if the helicopters come in time, we can put the fire out and before it actually burns their structures.
In addition to the resources that you've mentioned that are needed to fight the fire itself and the resources needed to support the communities who are affected by these fires, you've also mentioned that the firefighters themselves and the emergency personnel are absolutely exhausted. One can only imagine their efforts for the past 48 hours valiantly trying to bring these blazes under control. We know that you are supporting them. Is there a need for South Africans in general to assist? We know that South Africans love to try and help where they can and assist in any way. What can they do?
Its financial support is going to be the best because this is a very expensive business. We don't know how many helicopters we have to fly. We don't know how long we have to fly them for. We don't know how many firefighters we have to send to support the existing firefighters. We're not waiting for funding. We're just releasing the funds immediately. Right now, I've given the contract for the helicopters and a spotter plane to leave at 4 in the morning. I've even given a contract for Western Cape Disaster to make available any fire people they have to send them across. We've bought tons of stuff already in terms of mattresses and blankets for the community workers, and even the firefighters may need to lay down at some point. And we've given contracts for hot meals, which are being served right now. We bought in energy bars, chocolates, biscuits, bottled water, for the fire, and hygiene. The other problem firefighters have is that the teary eyes, the irritation, the smoke, and the fire cause a lot of irritation to the eyes. So we brought them, hygiene, which is essentially a requirement for firefighters. These are the key stuff. If we can stop, and if we invest rapidly, in the helicopters and bomb the fire out, and of course send in the water tankers to augment the existing fire trucks, and we can open our boreholes that has high flowing water. Some of them produce up to 70,000 liters per hour. So we've got some super boreholes in which we've drilled in the area, which we can fill the trucks very quickly, and with Sedibos water, we can make a difference. If we can succeed in preventing the fire from coming to the homes in Beachview and in Seaview and spreading anywhere else, then there'll be a huge cost saving. It'll save everybody a lot of money, but heartache and also the loss of life.
Well, thank you very much for your efforts in Nelson Mandela Bay. We wish you good luck with this operation. That was Dr Imtiaz Sooliman from the Gift of the Givers. They are assisting in Nelson Mandela Bay, where fires have been raging in several areas for over 48 hours now.